Hello, my name is Richard Pertow, President and CEO of Acacia Diversified Holdings. I want to go ahead and start off by reading a disclaimer on slide 2 that represents all the forward-looking statements I'm about to make here today. Rather than boring you, just take the time to read through this disclaimer at your leisure. But let's jump right into the slides on number 3, the overview of our company, ACCA. ACCA, or Acacia Diversified Holdings, is a vertically integrated cannabis technology and service company that focuses in 4 primary areas. The first, research and development. The second is grow and grow technologies. The third, private labeling and distribution of medicinal cannabis products. Let me start off before I get into more detail about the management team, beginning with myself. I founded R.K. Pertow & Associates, as well as the Pertow Family Foundation. Also, I was involved with the Independent Producers of America and founded that and sat on the board there as president and chairman. Also, in 2004, I retired from Cornerstone Marketing of America, where I built dedicated distribution force. The board of directors, a quick brief overview of them. On slide 5, you have Neil Golson, our director, who is the owner and principal of the Long-Term Care Financial Solutions. He's also a certified financial planner. We have Gary Roberts, one of our directors. He was a former VP and COO of a concrete resurfacing company, as well as the vice president of Cornerstone America's Southeastern Territory. Danny Gibbs, our third and final director, was the founder and president of Gibbs Construction, and is currently the senior project manager for TOC companies. On slide 5, you'll see our capital structure. Basically, Acacia Diversified Holdings, Inc., ACCA, trades on the OTCQB market. We currently have 17,500,000 shares issued and outstanding, with about a 5 million share float. The market capitalization is about $7 million as of December 31st, 2017. On slide 7, you'll see our core services. There's basically 3 revenue-producing services companies and one of our distribution labels that I want to talk to. Euphoria. Euphoria Medical of Tennessee owns a grow, processing, and manufacturing license in Tennessee as we speak. Our mobile solution is for extracting and post-processing. Our Cannabis develops products for wholesale and retail distribution. We also have recall, retain, and stability protocols in place for you to be able to get product liability on your products that we develop. And then we have the distribution of the private label through the Dahlia Botanical line. On slide 8, let's talk a little bit specifically to Euphoria Medical of Tennessee. As I mentioned, we have Tennessee operations. We have a retail store with a complete production lab and a training facility in Nashville, Tennessee. We own our own grow, processing, and manufacturing license, which is south of Nashville. So Euphoria Medical of Tennessee is this vertically integrated company that grows, processes, and manufactures. Then Mary J Pharmaceuticals. Mary J is our mobile sector. We have proprietary USDA certified organic food grade high volume separator system. We do supercritical CO2 fluid extraction methodologies. We currently have patent pending on our methodology, formulation, and end product as one complete package or patent. Complete portable packaging and private labeling and mobile extraction in North America is our current claim to fame. Cannabis Research and Development develops products for wholesale and retail distribution. And again, we have the recall, retain, and stability protocols in play. Some of the retail products that we've developed in our capacity has been salves and topicals, lotions, tinctures or ingestibles, capsules, and then some beauty supplies. On slide 12, you'll see a little more about Dahlia's Botanicals. Now, Mary J Group entered into a 7-year licensing agreement with a young lady called Mariah Barnhart, who's a national activist in the cannabis movement for the Dahlia line or product. And what's nice about the Dahlia product is a portion of all the proceeds from the sale of this product are donated directly back to a company called Cannamoms, which is a 501(c) dedicated to helping moms with sick children through cannabis. Now, let's focus on our revenue model. The revenue model, as I have pointed out, has 3 revenue-producing companies. Euphoria Medical of Tennessee, again, they grow the plant material. They move the plant material over to Mary J and pays them to process that material. Then Mary J moves it over to Cannacure's Research and Development, who formulates and manufactures that product. We then give it back to Euphoria, who trains and sells on those products through its dedicated distribution model. And it's done on a business-to-business basis in all the states that it's legal in. Mary J Pharmaceutical, a high-volume mobile CO2 extraction and processing service provider. We receive the plant material in from the grower, which is set up on site at the cultivation facility. We process and polish the extract and return the bulk full spectrum oil back to the grower, lot numbered from the batches that they had given us. Then we collect payment for each gram of the returned oil we give back to the grower. Very simple model. The last is Cannacure's Research and Development. Again, Cannacure's develops the products for distribution, formulates and manufactures white label products for other companies, as well as conducts research and development on new innovative products for our own use and our own branding. Some investment highlights. We are a vertically integrated cannabis company with multiple revenue streams. We have a high net margin in all of our categories. We establish a business model with a proven technology. Minimum capital requirements to accelerate this revenue growth. We trade at low valuations compared to our peers. And our management team is very, very focused on what we're doing and the direction we're going. Now I'm going to go to slide 14, talk about our marketing opportunity. The market is very fragmented. There's no regional markets with any dominant player at this moment in time. The cannabis industry has forecasted that it's going to create more jobs in the cannabis industry than the manufacturing industry by 2020, as well as the CBD sales by 2020 are expected to reach $48 billion in America. Such incredible opportunities for companies like ours and others. The growth strategy is this. Our public company wants to seek strategic capital partners. We want to continue to sell, develop, wholesale and retail our CBD products, building our dedicated distribution channel. We want to continue to secure extraction contracts. We want to bring on our second extraction unit, or Mobile 3, online. We want to develop our Tennessee farm. We want to plant this spring, start producing medicinal hemp by the third quarter of 2018. We want to grow through acquisition and our revenues. We want to focus growing earnings and returning to the NASDAQ market. We want to establish more patents with the cannabis as medicine. Let's go to slide 16. Our value proposition. Let me leave you with this. Soil to oil, our famous trademark that we're very proud of. What that means is we're a fully integrated cannabis company from soil to oil. We're involved in the cultivation, extraction, manufacturing, processing, as well as research and development, and are currently building a dedicated distribution force in Tennessee. Currently, we're producing revenues in 3 of our wholly owned subsidiaries, and the market share offers a significant growth and capacity for companies like ours and others. Thank you for listening to my story, and with that, now let's take you to the Q&A portion.
Okay, we're now opening the line for our Q&A session with Acacia Diversified Holdings, ticker symbol ACCA. And with us today, we have Rick Pertals, President and CEO. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you.
Happy to have you here. Thank you for your presentation. We'll just jump into some of the questions that we've gotten. Our first question, are you currently in any talks with potential strategic partners? And if so, is there any type of criteria that look for when choosing strategic partners?
Yes, we are involved with a strategic partner, and what we are primarily looking for is equity partners rather than convertibles and debt. So that's why we chose this particular partner in the operations.
Very, very good, thank you. And our next question, with what companies would you compare Acacia Diversified Holdings as far as public companies? And how do you stack up compared to those companies as far as some of the basic metrics?
Well, again, it's difficult to do comparisons in this particular space because not so many of them are public, and the ones that aren't in the MMJ or medical marijuana space. They're in the hemp space, and Comparatively, now that the Tennessee operation is solidified, it gives us the vertical position, which definitely gives us a whole lot more opportunities where you can grow and manage your own crop as well as manufacture products from that crop and then put that into retail distribution. So it basically takes all the middle people out of our model. Comparing it to others, I'm not aware of too many U.S. companies that are in that place. Some in the Canadian market, and we're probably a few years behind where they are at the moment. But most of those market caps are under 100 million and less that I've looked at, and we're somewhere around 8 to 10 million at the time and growing. So I see ourselves catching up to that pace in about 2 years or so.
Very good. Thank you, Rick. And our next question, can you talk a little bit about your plans for your sales and marketing strategy, and what does your current distribution channels look like?
Yes, our strategy is that we're in the process of building. So what it looks like at the moment is in the fetal stages. My background from the insurance side of it was building dedicated distributions, and did that successfully for 15 years with a public company. At that time, it was called UICI, United Insurance Companies, Inc. They had somewhere around 8,000 sales representatives across the United States in different markets strategically placed. And that model that I did there is exactly what I'm going to be implementing here, where we have dedicated distribution in each strategic market where it's federally legal or state legal to do, and build a distribution channel so that they can have boots on the ground. We can have boots on the ground dealing directly with physicians and chiropractic, holistic physicians, as well as people on a face-to-face basis, and educate them as well as purchasing and selling them products to be purchased. So that's the strategy.
Very good. Thank you, Rick. And our next question, a little different than I guess the first one. Can you talk about any potential acquisition that you're looking at here over the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, again, that's because we are a public company. I got to be careful about some of those, but I will say there are 2 acquisitions in the works as we speak. I cannot disclose who they are at this particular moment, but yes, it's getting more into the technology and sharpening up our pencil so that we can have medicinal products that we can bring right into the hospitals and to compounding pharmacists. So it's really more of a HIPAA compliant thing that we're working on. A lot of it's strategy and thought processes coming right out of the insurance side of it, where we were doing the same stuff over there on the insurance company. So it's really about the technology and getting the technology honed in around what we're trying to accomplish with the local hospitals and physicians, and as well as the universities.
Very good. Thank you, Rick. And just have a few minutes remaining. I guess just in summary, there was some great information covered in the presentation as well as here in the Q&A. But what's the key takeaway for investors, and why should they take interest in the Acacia Diversified Holdings story today?
Well, several reasons from my chair is obviously we're very tightly held. There's approximately 150 million authorized shares, but we only have about 20 million issued and outstanding as we speak today. So the opportunity and the upside's a lot greater by having that few shares out in the float and out in the marketplace. It gives us more opportunity to grow this thing properly, organically, through revenues and through acquisitions, so that when the investor puts the money in, they're going to realize return on their investment quickly. So that's, it's one thing to take in capital and try to grow through acquisition. It's another thing to grow organically through revenues. And that's the mentality that our management team is under. We want to build this thing. It's going to take us some time to get it where we need to be, but ultimately it's going to be done properly through very strategic moves and the revenue streams that would follow. The thing that makes us unique, in my opinion, again, and I've said that on the slides and I'll repeat myself here, is that when you can control and have experience in manufacturing, processing, producing product, and have control of the plant material that you're actually putting in the ground and harvesting and treating, it gives you a complete closed loop, or a hamster wheel that you can run on and develop some pretty stout products from that you can feel comfortable with. And all of our products, we have retain and recall programs built right into the protocol, so that our customers, whether we're white labeling for them or we're putting our own distribution products out, we can easily get our product liability in place, which we believe as a company and the management team is something that's not very predominantly done in the marketplace. There's not very much oversight, and we want to keep ourselves very, very lean in terms of and conditioned to do everything very high-end or pharmaceutically produced, so that at the end of the day, when that oversight starts to get tighter, we're going to already be in compliance on everything we're doing. And that is what's very, very important to me and the management team here, is to make sure we can control it, make sure that we can manage it, and ultimately make sure that we can represent and produce it and sell it. So that's the key, in my opinion.
Very good. Thank you, Rick. Great story, great opportunity. Look forward to seeing some of the developments as they happen in the coming months and quarters. For our viewers, we were just talking with Rick Pertile, President and CEO of Acacia Diversified Holdings. The ticker symbol, again, is ACCA on the OTCQB, ACCA on the OTCQB.